welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to take a hard left turn to action film territory and talk about a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. And today we're going to go back to 1995 for Sudden Death. Yes, Sudden Death came out December 22nd of 1995. It's rated R. It's an hour and 51 minutes long. Had a budget of $35 million, but upon release only made 20 in America and 64 worldwide. They actually had already had a script written for a sequel, but due to the box office, the sequel never happened. This film was directed by Peter Hyams. Peter Hyams was just coming off of Time Cop in '94, which starred Van Damme. And then after this, he would go off to do a film I like a lot, The Relic, in 1997. Speaking of Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Darren McCord in this film. He's a firefighter. And Powers Booth plays Joshua Foss in this film. And there's more character actors you'll recognize in this film, but they are our leads here. And right in the beginning of the film, we set up Van Damme as a firefighter. He has a tragedy happen while he's fighting a fire. So now he's like a fire inspector. He's just getting back into it. He was having a hard time coming to grips of the tragedy that had befallen him. And he is going to be doing the fire inspections for Game 7 of the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, where they shot this film. And he got 2 tickets for his kids. He has a daughter and a little girl. He's divorced now. And he takes his kids with him. And pretty soon, Powers Booth and his goons show up. This is basically Die Hard in a hockey arena. That's pretty much what this is. And the vice president's attending. Powers Booth takes him and his guests hostage. And they want all this money out of these accounts from the U.S. government, or they're going to kill everybody in the arena. And that is pretty much sudden death. Van Damme has to save the day. You know where this is going. So what to like about this film? Well, this is a unique one for Van Damme, even though it is Die Hard in a hockey arena. It's exactly what it is. If I was pitching it to a studio, that's how I'd pitch it. I don't know if that's how they pitched it, but that's how I would pitch it to somebody. Van Damme's good here. I mean, I always liked Van Damme in some of his movies. I like some of Van Damme's movies. I think I'm going to re-review some of them again. Bloodsport's a great one. You know, Kickboxer I like. Death Warrant. So Van Damme's one of our action stars from the late 80s, early 90s. I think Van Damme was still hot until like the later part of the 90s, and then he kind of went to direct-to-video land. But this is one of his bigger budgeted films, and Peter Hyams does a nice job directing it. There's some cool action in the film. Van Damme doesn't even get into his first fight till 37 minutes into the film when he gets in a fight with that woman goon that's in the Penguins mascot costume in the kitchen, which is a pretty cool fight, and it's pretty humorous as well. So there is some cool action here. It's nothing groundbreaking. I will say, I mean, Powers Booth's great here as the villain. I mean, obviously, this film, if Powers Booth wasn't the main actor for the villain, given the role, the performance he's given, this movie wouldn't work quite as well as it does. But we have a great actor giving a great performance as a villain, so that helps as well. Where the movie falls short is later on as the film goes on, they keep ratcheting up the over-the-top action part of it, and the part of the problem with that, there's a helicopter that comes, ends up going down and crashing on the ice, and some of that looks cool, some of it doesn't. There's some green screen in this film towards the end of the film that looks like dog shit. I mean, it looks awful, especially on this 4K from Kino Lorber that was just released a couple months ago. Well, it has a great transfer, but some of those green screen effects look worse now than they ever did before. That's the one downside to 4K. The films look amazing, but some of the effects just don't hold up. And definitely they were trying to ratchet up the action and go a little bit more over the top. And when those scenes happen, that's when the movie kind of loses a little bit of steam for me. But overall, this is a fun action movie. Again, they did shoot this at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh during the hockey lockout of the 1994-95 season. Some of the Penguins players are actually in this film. You'll notice them when they're showing shots of the game being played. The announcer for the Penguins back then actually is the announcer that they show in the film as well. So that's pretty cool as well. At the end of the day, this is a pretty good Van Damme film. It's not his best, in my opinion, but I think it's a solid action film from the mid-90s, and I would give Sudden Death a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Sudden Death. What are your thoughts on this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. And let me know what you think of Van Damme's movies. Are you a fan? What's your favorite Van Damme movie? Leave a comment down below. Let me know that as well. I'll be back soon with some more reviews, but until next time, bye.